Now, I wasn't expecting any of this today. V-Jump season is officially back and we finally have major Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 news. They showed off quite a bit of content this time around. Now I'm using a couple screenshots I found on Twitter, some from Venexus, some from ReachOut, so I'll have them linked down below. But starting right off, player characters can now customize their fighting style by learning the movesets of other races. Plus, the feature we've all been begging for is finally here. Weapons are now usable, as we see with Jane 1000 using Trunks' sword and moveset. The other moveset that John 1000 is using is definitely Vegeta's. There's also a new first look and some new information on this game's fighting mechanics. Guard penetration is a move that pierces the opponent's guard and deals damage to both health and stamina. Stamina sapper uses ranged attacks and special moves freely, trimming off huge chunks of stamina from the opponent. Break critical hit is a big attack that can be performed while the enemy is stamina broken, inflicting huge damage with a special action. And I'm pretty sure that this is the associated move with the screenshot of the Super God Fist that we see. It's sounding like the stamina management system is going to be much more emphasized on this time around. The customizable super attacks are back in the game and we're shown Omega Heat Magnetron from Jiren, Kaioken Assault, and the Gallic Gun. The customization is what made the online mode so addicting for me. You never knew what the other player was bringing to the match, and now including these new changeable movesets, I can see the builds being a lot more diverse. Maybe SSJ aipom will come back from the dead to start posting build videos again. Soul Assist borrows the power of a legendary super warrior and corners your opponent with brilliant teamwork. This just looks like the transfer system from the Breakers actually. Here's a big one. So we are getting the Awoken system again. The player characters transforms into a Super Saiyan and their abilities are greatly strengthened. And from the screenshot we see that the hair is finally standing up, something we've been requesting since Xenoverse 1. My question is exactly how many transformations are we going to get at launch, since 2 already has such a handful. That pose is also the pose that Goku took during his very first transformation on Namek, so maybe these are tied to iconic moments for their animations. Lastly, we have Soul Change. Possess the body of a super warrior, manifests huge strength, and an overwhelming power turns the tide of battle. This also looks like the feature from the Breakers, but here the player is turning into Trunks instead of just using their power. We actually kind of saw this idea in the first trailer for the game when John 1000 was tapping into different souls of the characters throughout time. I feel like this is going to probably be the most divisive topic amongst the fans though. But in this screenshot, we also see the in-game model for what Trunks looks like this time around. And it looks like a really beautiful mashup of cel-shaded Raging Blast and a polished up Xenoverse model. It also kind of reminds me of Kakarot a bit. I'm just happy they got rid of those oiled up Diddy models. They've been plaguing this series for years. Now I'm expecting a trailer to drop any day now. I've been following V-Jump news for years, and whenever major info like this comes out, an official video is usually right behind it. I'm just so glad we're finally getting something concrete for this game. After it completely skipped Summer Game Fest, it was starting to look like it would be a long while before we saw anything at all. It's also super exciting that they seemingly took years of Xenoverse criticism into account for this sequel. With all this new information, it's shaping up to be exactly what the fans have been waiting for. While there's still no word on sparking Neo or the final Future Saga DLC, we know how Bandai works. Those trailers always seem to drop on a random weekday morning, so I'm sure we'll see something within the next month or so for both of them. Anyway, I want to hear from you guys. What are you guys hyped about with this series? What here looks cool to you? What are your thoughts on this transforming soul change thing? And how do you like the direction that this game's going? I still really want to see gameplay, but it's a Dragon Ball game, and regardless if it's good or not, I'm gonna pick it up. But realistically, they can't fumble a Xenoverse game, right? Anyways, it's been your local overanalyzer Artellings. I hope you all have yourself a damn good one.